Today in the crypto space, we see the market still kind of going sideways, Bitcoin at about 35K, and Ethereum still around that $1,800 mark. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, are doing pretty good. We have some good gainers like Solana up approximately 20%, definitely tearing it up. Near Protocol waking up out of nowhere, and rebate still going to those higher levels. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about THORChain RUNE, one project that has been doing very well, getting to those higher levels. But the question is, should we be taking a bit of profit? So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of that volatility. And if you appreciate that strategy, subscribe to the channel and click that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Obviously, if you want to join that Discord, that is a great place, great community, lots of good alpha, trade setups, great fundamentals, everything happening over there, and you can make some of those requests for the live streams. Of course, tonight I'll be live at 7:30, so feel free to join. All right, guys, let's see what's going on here with this market. Bitcoin kind of going sideways. Bitcoin did get a bit of volatility today in the short term. If you look at the shorter term time frames, you can see basically on the 4-hour that we got a bit of a pop to the upside. And then we came right back down, and then FOMC meeting news, and now we're kind of bouncing around here with no real clear direction. And of course, we're gonna look at Bitcoin. Obviously, in today's video, we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin. Today's video is all about THORChain RUNE, but I think that Bitcoin could give us an indication of what we could expect in the immediate short term. Is Bitcoin gonna have some dominance over the market? Is Bitcoin gonna get another bounce to the upside, or is it gonna roll over? And of course, Bitcoin has a severe effect over the market in the short term. If we see Bitcoin come down, we could see some of these altcoins on a fire sale and giving us a second, maybe even third opportunity to buy the dips and basically fill our bags. All right, so let's continue here. Let's see Ethereum still going sideways, BNB getting a bit of a dip, but big picture still kind of within structure. XRP looking strong, consolidating, maybe going sideways, maybe a bit of a bearish divergence. I wouldn't mind taking a look at XRP tonight, but Solana, guys, another green healthy day for Solana, hitting that $45 mark, guys. Geez, this thing's on fire. You know, the more it runs up like this, the more, you know, you should really be taking profits. You should be really considering, you know, taking a bit off the table, especially if you're overexposed. If you have a leverage position and you're in the green and you're doing very well, guys, protect those gains, protect the gains. Solana is definitely up. My positions on Solana my entries were amazing, and I'm happy with that scenario. However, guys, I'm really contemplating on whether I should take profit or not. A lot of the times when my entries are super good, I just hold, and I don't really care, because even a retracement is never going to cut back to my buy price. So for me, I really don't mind, but I might consider taking a bit just to scrape a bit off the table. Solana looking really good, guys, up significantly today, 21%. Cardano kind of going sideways, and we have Tron doing okay, 3.5% to the upside. A bit of a dips here on TONcoin and Chainlink, nothing crazy though. Polygon 3%, and Polkadot doing pretty good, 5% waking up. That's good. We need to see DOT do something. It's been so quiet for way too long. We need that ecosystem growing and all of that. AVAX finally waking up, 7.5% to the upside, 13% in the last 7 days. We know that AVAX has been bleeding out a little bit, and at critical levels of support, that was the time to take a bit of a risk, a bit of a chance, especially when it starts reaching those levels of horizontal support. So AVAX is looking pretty good, a bit of a wake-up call. That's not bad. Proof of life is what we call it. Proof of life. Uniswap, nice bounce to the upside, 13.4%. That's looking pretty good. I'm not really interested in Uniswap, honestly. I'm not willing to take any chances there. Uniswap might integrate KYC any day now, and fees. Apparently, there's fees and all of that. I'm not really interested. I'm choosing to back away from Uniswap. Let's continue going down. What else do we have here? 2.5%, give or take here and there. Nothing that crazy. Still structurally driven here. And then we have Near Protocol. Guys, I don't know if you've been following me, and I've been talking about Near Protocol. Near Protocol is a good project overall, still hanging around here, up 35% in the last 7 days. My positions are in the green. I'm happy about that. But the question is, should we be taking profits? You know, at the end of the day, guys, if this market does retrace, the question is, are we going to get back to those previous lows? And believe me, I've been scaling into those layer ones early. So for me, those entries are very likely not going to be tested. And if that's the case, I'm good with the hold. I'm good with holding. I'm good with dollar cost averaging and buying dips if we do get that retracement, because you guys know I've been basically collecting some cash on the side, ready to deploy some of that dry powder if we do get those dips. VeChain up a little bit. Aave doing pretty good, guys. Nice 11% pop to the upside. Injective another 14% to the upside, guys. This thing is on fire. Injective definitely doing really well. And what else do we have? The graph waking up 10% to the upside. Yesterday, we did get a bit of a dip. It was coming down, but it got a pop to the upside. Now it's looking for a breakout out of the previous high. Are we going to make a higher high? Are we going to make an extension? You know what? I wouldn't mind taking a look at the graph in tonight's live stream. Tonight, I'll be live at 7:30. Feel free to join me. I'm going to put the graph on the list, tentative, obviously. I'm going to put your requests in top priority, but I wouldn't mind looking at the graph. You know, GRT right now is doing pretty good. Maybe it breaks out, maybe it doesn't. We'll have to see momentum. Render pulling back and obviously getting a bit of a bounce today, 2.5%. Give or take. And THORChain, the man of the match today. Basically, I want to cover THORChain, RUNE, and look at what's happening. It's been on a tear, guys. 36% to the upside in the last 7 days. Today's another 2.5%, give or take, at $3. Looks pretty toppish, in my opinion. Of course, you know, we're hitting a potential bit of resistance. We'll take a look at that chart to see what we should be doing in the immediate short term, and basically also look at our strategy. Well, my strategy, and to see how it has been playing out with THORChain, RUNE, and if it's been looking good. Algorand waking up a little bit, not too much. I think we're still a bit early. We still have some potential room to continue to the upside, and the rest of the market, 8% for Theta, doing pretty good. I'm not really that interested in Theta anymore, but nonetheless doing pretty good. And Kava 2%, and the rest of the market is pretty sideways, not really convincing whatsoever. Pretty good day, honestly. Pretty good day. Curve Dow 5%. We talked about Curve Dow, the fact that Curve is at a good risk to reward ratio opportunity at the bottom of the range and hasn't yet to actually pop. So this could be its opportunity. And unfortunately, look at Radix coming down to those lower levels, guys. If it gets undervalued, I'm going to be buying dips. I'm going to be totally scaling in. So I'm keeping an eye on Radix. Maybe we take a look at XRD tonight for sure. XRD. We'll take a look. So the overall consensus here in the market in this quick summary is that the market is either going sideways or we're getting some real pops to the upside. You know, if you are in deep green, gains right now, you definitely have to have a strategy. Like, what's your strategy? To completely hold and let those profits walk away from you if the market turns around and maybe gets a bit of a retracement? Or, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to take it on the chin and buy those dips. I'm willing to do that on some of my positions, you know, not take any profits. Just accumulate, don't sell any, just accumulate. It's fine. We're in a transitionary phase into a potential bull market, and some argue that we already began the bull market, so that means any dips should be bought. And are we going to sell any rallies? This is the thing. Personally speaking, I always have a short-term spot bag that I'm willing to take profits on and buy dips with, and that's what qualifies me as being a trader, guys. If all you're going to do is buy the dips, you're not really trading. You're just accumulating. You're an investor, which is a valuable strategy, no doubt. But of course, I like to trade. So let's use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, and let's begin by looking at Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin's up to. Bitcoin, at the end of the day, what a volatile day. Crazy stuff. Now, I know it's only on the short-term time frames, because really on the daily, this thing's planking, going sideways. Nothing really interesting. But look at this volume. We got to this level right again, hitting that horizontal resistance almost to the cent, and then literally got rejected and got right back into this sideways consolidation. And we're back in there. The FOMC meeting came out okay, in the sense that it came out with everybody's expectations, holding or pausing those interest rates. And again, what do we expect from Bitcoin in the immediate short term? Let's look at this a little bit in a little bit more detail. Guys, there's a bullish case that is very easy to spell out here. The thesis from bullish continuation to the upside is a very easy thing to kind of suggest, right? trend is your friend. We've been impulsing up. We got a lot of impulsive moves to the upside. And the reality is, you know, maybe it's done, maybe it isn't. It's a game of probability. But I'm gonna just shoot a couple of numbers out to you guys, or ideas. Let's call them ideas. At the end of the day, if we break below this range again, I feel like it's very possible we come back and test that 32K level, which is the breakout level of the previous high. We have a nice fat volume gap here that has yet to be filled. That's a weak spot. We could potentially consolidate here and get that Bart Simpson pattern to the downside. The divergence here on the RSI is still intact. Nothing is actually changed here. In fact, we could even make a higher high, break out to a nice extension level, the 1.27 extension, and then still maintain that bearish divergence. In fact, if that happens, while we do not invalidate this bearish divergence, guys, I would be very inclined in entering short positions here on Bitcoin. Okay, so I'll keep you posted on what I think, but right now this consolidation here on Bitcoin is not giving me an indication that I should be taking any risk. Even if we do get another higher pop, I still feel like there's better opportunities where altcoins or an altcoin hasn't moved yet or hasn't rallied, and that for me, the risk to reward ratio is a lot better, looking for projects that have yet to pop. And Bitcoin obviously clearly has already led this market to a nice rally to the upside, and for me, it's not time to take more risk on Bitcoin. If you're going to get into a long position on Bitcoin, you got to be prepared to put your stop losses right underneath these consolidations, because it's likely that we could pop up, maybe come right back down to this low and test this low once again. And that's how patterns are built. That's how structure is built. It could be, you know, head and shoulders. It could be maybe a cup and handle. It could be a small Adam and Eve pattern right in this level where we could eventually come back down and create the Eve structure where we break below, right? So all these things got to be considered. And at the end of the day, we do have that horizontal support that acted as support before, and we have this area of resistance that has been acting as resistance also. So we have a bit of a struggle here. It's a bit of a war, and at the end of the day, who's gonna win this battle? Honestly, at this level, it doesn't know. It's anybody's game. It's a 50-50 shot. However, the momentum and the indicator here on the momentum is leading me to believe that it's very possible that we do get that dip. We got a bearish divergence in overbought conditions with follow-through price action, hitting resistance multiple times, and it got rejected pretty heavily here at the top of the range. So my opinion is no risky business. I'm keeping myself very, very in tune with what's happening in the grand scheme of things, which is right now Bitcoin has to make a decision. Is it going to go up or go down? And based on the decision, we will see what altcoins and how altcoin reacts. And altcoins, you know, can make some life-changing gains, and that's what I'm all about. All right, guys, let's take a look at RUNE. RUNE at the end of the day, a little bit more interesting in the fact that it just rallied. It just woke up. Now, is it too late? That's a big question. I've been getting a lot of questions online on the socials asking me about what I think about RUNE, and now it's too late. If you've been watching the channel and if you've been watching my live streams, I've been talking about RUNE, saying that when it wakes up, it wakes up. When it runs hard. This is the time to consider taking risk. Now, we can go back and look at the idea that came about. This was the zone, these green arrows, and I do have my charts posted on the Discord, guys. Speaking of the Discord, if you're not part of the Discord already, go join the Discord. The Discord is a great community. I do offer great opportunities there to get involved and get engaged as a community, especially voting opportunities and voting for deep dives, and I do deep dives every week, so go check those out. We'll discuss more about this tonight live, because I got some issues that I have with some of the tokens, because the tokens right now, there's no clear winner. There's no clear project that I need to cover, so we'll talk about that tonight. But nonetheless, here, THORChain RUNE popping to higher levels, guys. You know, this is an issue here right now because we're hitting resistance, and in fact it exceeded a bit of my expectation, just a little bit, right? Because we went above the level where I was willing to take a bit of risk off the table, which is this little volume gap right here. But I also did mention, look, if we break right through, this is the next level that I'm interested in taking profits. It's a DCA in, DCA out type of scenario. And if you were able to get in here at the bottom of the range where we actually got oversold at the horizontal support right into this level, and this was an extension level, Fibonacci extension level, this was the best area to take some risk. Now all of a sudden, guess what? We're back, we rallied up, we back tested. and unfortunately it didn't really get some great support. We got some good support on the 200 daily, which is good. A lot of people use the 200 daily for confirmations, which is healthy. We got a nice back test, a nice bounce off the 200 daily off the point of control, and then all of a sudden a nice spring to the upside where we broke this structure, making a higher high. Beautiful price action. But guess what, guys? Now we're testing this high. We're testing the bottom of a bigger volume gap, a massive volume gap that's right above. Guys, I'm just gonna let you know, guys, if we break through this volume gap, we have a huge area of weakness above. Let me kind of zoom in here and show you what I mean. You can see that down here we got a lot of price action. Okay, let me get into the 4-day so we can consolidate a bit of this, and you can see that ultimately above this zone we have empty. It's not empty, completely empty, but it's a lot weaker than here. There's not much supply and demand at this level. Okay, which means that if we actually break, we have an easier, time actually getting to higher levels, because there's not much supply and demand, not much resistance to get to those higher levels. So I'm keeping this in mind and keeping this in tune, because at the end of the day, this is the zone that we got to watch out for. If we break above this zone, we have a bit of a volume gap right into here that could be really interesting, right? We could get a bit of an easy sailing to higher levels. But ultimately, guys, where we are right now, look where we are in the grand scheme of things. We're at the bottom of this area, which could act as a level of resistance. We got lows, a bit of a price action happening here, high, and this is where we are right now. So really, honestly, if you are in a long position and you happen to get long down here at the bottom of the range where I was calling, scale in, guys, it's time to take profit. What kind of gains are you in? More or less, let's talk about an average position. Let's say you didn't call this bottom perfectly. Let's say you got in right around the zone. Just to say, look where you are right now. You're up 160%. Guys, that's really good gains. Take half on the double. Take your initial investment off the table. If it does get rejected and it does roll over at this zone, that would be great, because then you can buy the dips and you can wait to see where we consolidate. Speaking of consolidation, guys, look what could happen here. We do have a volume gap below that could act as support. Okay, volume gaps are great because they could act as resistance and support. So what I'm going to do is temporarily flip these green, because now they could act as support. They could actually act as a place where, the bulls might want to protect these areas for liquidity, right? So at the end of the day, we get rejected here, come back down, maybe we get support, get back up, get rejected again. And that would be so in tune or in line with potentially making some sort of pattern, a structure that could justify a nice cup and potential handle right here into this weak spot. Now, if that's the case, that would be epic. That would be good, because we can get in on a bit of a dip down at this level. Okay, at about $2.25. That I know doesn't sound like an enormous fire sale, but it's not bad. At least you're getting in with a nice confirmation. We got these highs to confirm your support. You got the volume gap to confirm support, which is pretty good. And ultimately, we want to see what the daily is going to do. Is the daily going to get oversold? If the daily momentum on the RSI and the MACD get overextended and oversold, we could get in with a bit of confidence here. However, guys, we might not get it. We might even break right through. But the issue is that you're hitting resistance, you're hitting a wall, and it's a pretty big one, to be honest. So my opinion is de-risking. De-risk, take some profit off the table. If it does roll over, you have some lower levels to entertain. We got this level at about $2.25, give or take. And then right back down to the bottom right here is very possible. Why not? Just be prepared just in case, because we could come back right at this level and still make a higher low. Higher low is great. Higher low, higher highs. We made a low here, but we didn't create a higher low just yet. That's what we really need to confirm a trend reversal, where we're going to change the character of this structure. We already did, kind of. We broke above this high, local high. We broke above it, great. We didn't break above this bigger picture high, which needs to happen. So let's see if we get rejected. But if we come back down and create that higher low, it starts to build the idea that we could be getting a change of character in this structure. And obviously, a beautiful handle here for this potential cup would be epic. So we're going to keep an eye on this. Just within this range, just a healthy pullback down to here would give you a 25% discount, which would be absolutely healthy. Now, what about the bearish scenario? this is a mix of bearish and bullish. Of course, pullbacks are great, but look what's happening here price action wise. Let's get rid of some of these trend lines. You can see that this is quite exaggerated, right? Huge impulse to the upside, but look at the momentum, guys. The momentum is not looking as healthy, right? The RSI, in fact, is not making a higher high on the RSI. The price action keeps on going up while the RSI is coming down currently. So if the trajectory of the RSI is maintained like this, making this lower high on the RSI, that's class A bearish divergence. So the next couple of days, what you want to do is confirm this. Make sure that if it does get rejected as a lower high on this RSI, that you take a bit of profits and de-risk on the daily, of course. Now, the MACD is still looking really bullish. EMAs, green histogram bars to the upside. EMAs looking really good, nice and open like this. This is epic. But we have to understand that the MACD also is a lagging indicator, which means that it does take time to register the price action. The RSI is also a bit lagging, but it's not as bad as the MACD. The MACD is a lot slower to react. So we got to take it with a grain of salt, right? So it's still quite bullish. It's still possible that we go up to higher levels, but I already explained the fact that we're hitting that wall. Are you going to take the chance to not take profits and, hold on if it does dip? That's the issue here now. Okay, let's look at the 4-hour. The 4 hours confirming more divergence. Unfortunately, look at this. We're at resistance and we're overbought on all time frames, on the daily and the 4 hour overbought. And you can see the price action is going up based on this all the way down from here. In fact, okay, it is going up and the RSI is coming down. Okay, so that's class A bearish divergence, and the MACD is kind of indecisive, giving us a bit of divergence as well. A little bit, not too crazy, but it is there. So we got to identify the fact that it is downward sloping. The MACD is maybe indecisive at this point, so I'm not looking at the EMAs as a true indication, but we got to keep in mind that we could be rolling over here or getting a short-term pullback to the downside here on THORChain RUNE. And guys, since it's up approximately 200% from its bottom, guys, this is time to really get defensive on your gains, protect those gains, number one, and don't get into any fresh longs unless you're willing to take some risk. Okay, so that's the issue here. Now, if you're looking for a fresh long, what would I do? I'm not a breakout trader. This is a breakout trader territory, and what I mean by that is that we would like to see this break above this horizontal resistance at about $3.14, give or take. Okay, so if it does break above, that's a breakout trade. Now, how do you mitigate risk on breakout trades? Is wait for the back test for confirmation. Now, some breakout traders employ different strategies, and it's all about risk management. And the risk management strategy here is all about position size and controlling your position size based on risk. Now, if we do break above, okay, you can get into a small position. We get up. If we back test, great. You load up even further as a confirmation, right? Backtesting the previous resistance as support is a great confirmation to suggest that we're going to get a continuation to the upside. But what about if we don't? What about if it continues going higher and higher, but at least you have some skin in the game and you bought in at the breakout? But if upon a backtest, at least you have some capital to deploy upon a backtest, a confirmation for continuation. This is all about risk management. And then upon the breakout, let's get a pen mark going on in. So breakout, get in, we come back down, get that confirmation, and then upon the confirmation, you get in a little bit more, and then right here, upon the break of the previous high, you're basically confirming that we're making a higher high and a higher low, and therefore you can get in once more with a little bit more. So right here, get in, right here, get in, and then right here, get in a little bit more, and then ride it to the upside. And your average position should be right into this zone, which would be a very healthy buy opportunity or dollar cost average scenario for a breakout trade. Okay, guys, so obviously I'm not a breakout trader. I prefer looking for bottoms and applying my risk strategies at lower levels, so knowing that I did not buy tops. Right now you could be getting into a top type of position, and unfortunately you got to be willing to weather that storm if we get that rejection. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor and slap that like button. Don't forget, I'm live tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. If you have any projects you want me to cover, that is a great time and place to make those requests, and I'll put them in top priority. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join that Discord, guys. The Discord is a great community, lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and all that good stuff. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and see you tonight. And don't forget, buy the dip.